Are you looking to learn a little bit more about the Lakewood Ranch real estate market? Well, today we are going to provide you some inside tips and also some insight on how we do business here in Lakewood Ranch. So stay tuned.
Hi everyone, Courtney and Michael Chenkus here in Lakewood Ranch, Florida. Today we're giving you a little bit of a behind the scenes info session with us about our business philosophy and why we chose Lakewood Ranch specifically.
Right. This is not scripted. We don't really have anything we're going to read. We just took a couple of notes down. And one of the things we wanted to address is, well, first of all, she made me wear the hat.
But it's so perfect.
It's perfect. LWR, Lakewood Ranch, although Lakewood is one word.
Good point.
Deep thoughts. So one of the things, we get a lot of FAQs from a lot of our clients and people coming from out of state or anybody who found us on YouTube. And one of the questions that pretty much everybody asks is Lakewood Ranch the only area that you serve and sell in? And the short answer to that question is yes. Although that can be expanded upon a bit, and I think it's what we're going to do today, and also tell you why we made that decision, why we think it's an important decision. It was an important decision for us, obviously, from our business perspective, but it's an important decision for you, and we're going to explain that and kind of how we came to that decision as well.
So if you've researched this area at all, you'll know that Lakewood Ranch is pretty large in size. It's over 50 square miles. It's actually twice the size of Manhattan, not in population, but just in square footage. And it's also bigger than Disney World. So that in itself is a lot of area to cover. There are currently 30 different villages in Lakewood Ranch. So to truly know the ins and outs of each village, every single builder, every HOA, what they offer, we chose to focus solely on this area to become true experts in knowing everything there is to know about Lakewood Ranch.
Another question that we get, that I often get, that parlays kind of into this and explains how we came up with this business premise, this hyper-focused specialty premise. I started my career in 2005, 2006 in Connecticut, which is where we're from originally. And one of my brokers, God rest his soul, he's a wonderful man. He just recently passed away. So if the Donato family is watching this, my heart goes out to you guys. We miss him a lot. But Mr. Donato taught me that being a specialist in a hyper-focused area and not allowing basically all the noise of everything else going on around you to move your focus is the best way to handle business. At least that was his opinion, and I really took that to heart. So in where we were from in Connecticut, if you needed information and you needed the best real estate agent and professional for this particular market in this one area, it was John. And John built a 30 some odd year career, opened his own brokerage, had 100 plus agents, all based on that one principle. So I really took that to heart. And then when we moved to Florida, I thought, okay, I'm really gonna take this premise that John and his whole business model and run with it for our own business.
Yeah, and right? That's exactly what we did. And we chose to focus our niche. Is that the right word? Niche?
Niche? Niche. We'll go with niche. Mm-hmm. Sounds like quiche. Quiche is yummy. We established a niche. We wanted to focus on a niche market. Niche. Yes. We wanted to focus on a target market. We're going to go with that word.
Target. Easier to say.
And with Lakewood Ranch being, so currently right now, as we speak, in the year 2021, there are 17,000 homes, condos, and apartments that are built and occupied. 17,000 of the total area that is Lakewood Ranch. It's projected to have twice that much, so let's say 35,000, just to be rounded out. And the current population is 44,000 people plus or minus. That's going to target around 90,000. So there's 18 to 20 years left of building based on the developer's estimates and timing and markets and all that good stuff. So clearly it's a huge area. Mm-hmm. There are plenty of homes to sell and focus on here. And if you look at the map of Florida, you'll realize you could zoom out on the map of Florida and think, no big deal. But then when you get your boots on the ground and you realize how big it is, you realize that's the moment when you know you need to focus in, you need to target it.
It's funny, a lot of times I'll go out with buyers and we'll be driving from the information center on Main Street all the way up north to one of the communities, and the first thing everybody says is, wow, Lakewood Ranch is bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
So that map online is very deceiving. It's a big area.
Big. When we first moved, when we were first looking down here, the whole center of Lakewood Ranch, kind of up and down White Eagle Boulevard, which if you've been down here, you'll know where that is, goes from State Road 64 to State Road 70. And I remember driving down that years ago, and my jaw hit the floor, because as far as the eye could see was flat land that had just begun being developed. There were bulldozers everywhere, and I thought to myself, how does this even work? But that entire street right now is completely developed. Mm-hmm. We've got Indigo, Mallory Park, Bridgewater, Esplanade. What else is over there? There's a new apartment complex being built currently on the corner of Rangeland.
Woodleaf Hammock is up there.
Woodleaf Hammock is
Savannah.
At the top. Arbor Grand. So all of these neighborhoods didn't exist when we were doing our homework about 5 years ago to figure out where we wanted to build our house.
Things happen quickly in Lakewood Ranch.
They do. And plus, with this hot market, which if you've studied the markets and know what's going on right now, it's wild. It's a good wild. But boy, it's made this community the number one multi-gen community, which means there's one community, the Villages, which is up in central North Florida, that sells more homes, but it's primarily a 55 and up community as compared to Lakewood Ranch, which is not. It's all ages. It's everything. There's an analogy that I like to use that everybody's heard it: a jack of all trades, master of none. And I try to follow that, and I take that to heart. So here's an example. Well, I consider this, it's probably one of the biggest purchases that you're ever going to make in your entire life. Entry-level houses nowadays are between 400 and 700,000, let's say. Mm-hmm. And that's not chump change. These houses sell all the way up to 2, 3, 4 million, some of them even more than that. Right. So the point is, this is not this isn't a decision that you want to take lightly, right? Mm-hmm. So the jack of all trades concept, let's say you want to add a pool. You have a house, doesn't have a pool, you want to add a pool. Would you call a handyman that says he's good at electrical, he can do painting, he can do yard work for you? Oh yeah, and no. He's a jack of all trades, no question about it. And there's a time and place for someone who is good at a lot of things, or but not a master per se. When you're putting in a pool, you do that with a pool contractor who knows everything there is about pools, so that this investment, which a pool can cost $60,000 to $100,000 or more,
yeah,
depending on how crazy you get with it. So again, it's a big investment, and you want to make sure that the person that you've hired to do that job is a specialist in that particular field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's elaborate one more time. So when we first started the video, we said we sell in Lakewood Ranch primarily. Mm-hmm. I would say 95%. And the only reason we say the other 5% is there's certain little neighborhoods like River Club, for example, Avance, Artistry is another one. There's a bunch that are either within the confines of the Lakewood Ranch border, but not necessarily Lakewood Ranch, and that's a confusing concept we could explain another day. But there's also neighborhoods that border just on the outsides of Lakewood Ranch. And absolutely, we know those neighborhoods well, and we have sold in most of them. When I say just outside, if you were to reach the border of Lakewood Ranch, it's no more than a 5-minute drive.
Right.
So to give you a proximity concept. So we sell in Lakewood Ranch, just outside of it, because it reaches this area. A lot of them share the same schools, right. Same resources. You can go to the same grocery stores and restaurants, etc., still living in these communities. Whereas, give you an example, someone calls us and says, I want to buy a house on Siesta Key. I don't know a thing about Siesta Key other than that it's really nice.
Yeah, the beach is beautiful.
It's really cool. It's like 14 miles down the road, which doesn't sound far away, but that's light years away in real estate terms.
Completely different marketplace.
Totally different market.
You would need someone that's an expert in that area to show you the ins and outs of the different neighborhoods, what they offer, the schools that it's zoned to, the closest grocery store, the best restaurants. I mean, those are all things that you really focus on in your specific area. And that's the guidance we provide to our buyers about the Lakewood Ranch area. Right.
And most people that contact us have either made the decision that Lakewood Ranch is where they want to be, or they're close to making that decision. By all means, if you haven't reached that point and you want us to explain maybe why we think it is the best place for you, happy to do so. Give us a call and we'll give you all the insight we can. If you decide or you think Lakewood Ranch is not the spot for you, this is how we've built the business model. So we don't want to, we would never pretend to know something about another area of Florida and provide you guidance on that. So if you want to move to, let's say, Parrish, which is a town about 25, 30 minutes north of here. We have referral partners in all of the general markets that are bordering this area on the West Coast that operate their business the same way we do. The specialty market, this is what they know. They don't spread themselves thin and try to pretend that they know stuff about all the different areas of Florida. It's just not possible.
It's a big place.
It's big. It's big. And we don't want to do a disservice to the client. So if you want to move to Parrish, or you've decided to go to Naples or even Venice, which isn't that far away, but again, in Florida real estate market terms, it kind of is. If you've decided to go to one of those different places, Mayaca, you name it, we have referral partners that are real estate agents, realtors, who run their business the same way we do. And we can provide a referral for you to one of those agents so that they can serve your needs the same way we service all the clients that we have who've decided that Lakewood Ranch is where they want to live. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. Makes sense to me.
Again, no script. What else should we talk about?
Winging it.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do people ask us? I mean, a lot of questions, but what?
So many questions.
The word ranch. Yeah.
Okay. It seems to be a trend lately that a lot of places are being given the name ranch. So there's Lakewood Ranch, there's Palmer Ranch, there's North River Ranch, which is up and coming. There is Sky Ranch. So they're all very different, and just because it's called a ranch doesn't mean it's the same type of community that Lakewood Ranch is. Lakewood Ranch is very unique in a lot of ways because it's a big area that feels like a small town. It has its own Main Street, community activities. So there's 30 villages, like we said. Within each village, there's all these little neighborhoods and community events and things, but then expand that to all of Lakewood Ranch, and there's a lot going on for everyone in the community as well.
One thing I tell people all the time is if you solely focus on, if you say, I want to find a nice house, okay, that's really actually very easy to find in Florida. They're everywhere. They're absolutely
Especially
everywhere.
New houses.
They're everywhere. There's so much construction. If you've read the news, you know everyone's moving to Florida. So finding a nice new house, that's the easy part. It's really honing in on where you want to be, where you want to live, and what your lifestyle is and what you see it being.
Yeah, what the goals are for your lifestyle and the community you want to be a part of.
Right. I think that answers a lot of that's a huge question for most people. Basically the why Lakewood Ranch. We get another one too, and we'll preface this and wrap this video up. I want to keep it short. But we have a lot of people who ask, what builders are you familiar with? Which ones do you like the best? Which builders would you build your house with? Now, we built our house. And I have an answer to that question. I have a couple answers to that question.
I have a lot of thoughts on that question.
Yeah, we have a lot of thoughts that we're not going to put here. So if that is a question that you have in your mind that you want answered, we have been in and out and dealt directly with every single builder except maybe one, who's a real custom builder, doesn't build a lot, but I'd be happy to answer that question for you. Just give us a call on the phone number that rolls across the credits, and we'll talk. So no problem. Check out our other videos. The market right now is definitely unique. It will return to normal because everything does, and don't worry about that.
There's still plenty to build and
Yeah.
buy in Lakewood Ranch.
Yeah,
so.
and we're putting deals together pretty much every week. So don't worry about that. Things have changed. You have to adapt to the way the market has changed. That's what we've done.
Yeah.
And we'll adapt once it goes back to the way it was.
Yeah, we just make it work.
And make it work. So anyway, you can do the outro now.
That's it.
Yeah.
Again, we're Courtney and Michael Chenkus with Charles Ruttenberg Realty here in Lakewood Ranch, Florida. And if you have any questions about this area or real estate in Lakewood Ranch, we would be happy to help. So please reach out. And thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you found this helpful.
Thanks for watching.